Are you an empath who's drained by the energies around you? Well, today I'm going to be guiding you through some helpful tools to help cleanse your energy field, and these tools really work. Welcome back, Starseeds, Lightworkers, and Healers. I'm Charles, and I talk all things spiritual awakening and provide tools to support you on the path. And today we are going to be talking about one of my favorite topics, and probably one of the most important topics as an empath on the spiritual path, and that is this concept known as energetic hygiene. Energetic hygiene. It is in a nutshell, in layman's terms, or just to summarize, that we are cleansing our auric field, we are cleansing our energy fields, and that is what we must do as light workers so that we can radiate our light, right? So if we think of ourselves as light workers, if you call yourself a light worker or a person who is just understanding the meaning of radiating your light into this world, your auric field needs to be cleansed, right? It can get smudged. It can get overshadowed by a lot of things that we are picking up on this earth plane, in this life that we've chosen to live, to either learn a lesson, or to just be of service to others. And there are ways in which this can get a little clogged, right? If you are a healer, if you are an empath, right, that means that you are able to feel the feelings of others. You are able to feel the emotions of others, and oftentimes, sometimes feel the physical ailments of others as well, because you are so in tuned, and you are so empathic with another person. It is both your healing gift and also physically symptomatic as well, right? And if this information is new to you, chances are you've been walking around this earth wondering why you feel the way that you feel as an empath, wondering why you might be taking on so much of other people's stuff and not even knowing that you're doing it. And also not knowing that there are also ways to release that. And I'll be showing you three powerful techniques today that I use on a daily basis. And I go through all of these three techniques. Without these, I think I would be walking around feeling just drained all of the time. And hopefully, one of these three techniques will work for you today. But before I get into these, please take a second and smash that like button and subscribe. We're trying to get a message out to as many people as possible, and we are building a community of light. Everyone is invited. So if you find value out of this video, please share it with somebody who might be on the spiritual path, or who can benefit from this, right? We got empaths of all kinds out there right now. Okay, so before I get into the techniques, just wanted to share about the symptoms that you might actually be taking on other people's stuff as an empath, right? That your auric field might be infiltrated, penetrated, and or hooked on and attached with energetic cords by other people. Okay, so we think of our light bodies as bodies of light. Think of yourself as maybe having maybe a force field around you, right? Every time that you interact with somebody, we establish energetic cords and connections. And these energetic cords and connections, while oftentimes can be just very, very innocent, a person just talking to you, maybe telling a funny story about their day, is hooking onto your energetic field, right? Somebody sharing good news with you, overjoyed with some good news. Maybe they got a promotion at work, or they are engaged to be married and they're sharing that with you. It's just this wonderful excitement. You are taking on that energy too. You know, on the contrary, if somebody shares very, very depressing news with you, right? If someone shares angry thoughts about somebody else with you, or if somebody is just feeling blah and maybe doesn't know why, and you spend time with that person, you're also establishing energetic cords with that person, right? And therefore taking on a bunch of stuff, sometimes unprocessed stuff that is left for you to then process. And I also want to say it is not your job to process other people's stuff. That is what they came into this life to process, and it is their journey, right? So think about it this way. You're giving that gift back to other people when you release these cords, and you are allowing yourself to be more you more full and more protected so that you can go out there and to be of service and be where you need to be in the world doing the work that is of your life theme. Okay. So just wanted to give you a picture about that and just kind of explain that concept of energetic chords. Now, depending on what school of thought that you come from, as there are lots of paths in the spiritual space, there are a lot of ways in which you can learn about energetic hygiene and cleansing your auric field. Um, some chords cannot be cut, and some chords can be cut. I am of the belief that there are certain energetic connections that cannot be cut, and these will be either like genetic bloodlines, ancestral bloodlines, and or anyone that you've had sex with. You establish kind of almost these forever chords, but that doesn't mean that you can't cleanse and clear your own chords. And we're going to talk about that today too a little bit. But for everyone else, you can cut these cords all day long. And even so, you should always be contemplating and meditating on your own energetic cords, regardless, right? This is an entire other workshop. And in fact, my spiritual mentor who taught me energetic hygiene, I would love to have her on the podcast. And I think I've actually reached out to her to come on the podcast. So 2025, she'll be coming on, hopefully. No, it's happening. I'm manifesting that right now. And she could talk about, really, really go in depth about energetic hygiene in a way that I probably can't explain it, but it's definitely changed my life. And I've been an empath my entire life. And for 30 years of my life, I had no idea, actually more than that, had no idea what I was taking on. And so this has really, really been a game changer for me, understanding how to just kind of release that energy. And it's just you're just so much more free when you know that you only have to carry your own stuff and not anybody else's. All right, so let's get into the first technique to cleanse your auric field and to actually just protection. Okay, number one is protection. Okay, psychic protection, energetic protection. And this all starts with a visualization of a golden bubble of protection around you. Okay, a golden bubble of protection doesn't have to be golden. For me, it's always golden. Uh, I do a lot of work with my angels, and gold is just a spiritual, beautiful, protective color. And you just imagine this golden bubble around you, okay? And but it's large. It's very, very large. Okay, this is where this is where this technique can use some tweaking. I'm not going to use the word fail, but you could definitely tweak it. Is that don't I want to encourage you to don't play small with this. Okay, you can visualize this golden bubble of protection around you that only allow that is much larger than your physical body, but it can be even 10 feet in diameter all around you, or even 20 feet for that matter, right? If you need a bigger bubble to protect you, then make it larger, right? But what I don't recommend is creating a golden bubble that is literally so thin that goes around your ears, literally to the edge of your shoulders, down to your feet. That is, I would say some protection's better than none, but but that is very, very thin and permeable, right? And we want to protect our bubble, our golden angelic bubble, from the energies of other people, right? From those cords and attachments. And keep in mind that some people will hook onto your energy field and not know that they're doing it, right? Because not everyone is awakened, so they're not aware of what they're doing. Some people are dumping into your energy field and they don't even know that they're doing it. Some people are aware that they're doing it. There are toxic energies out there, narcissism out there, and they are dumping. And they are fully aware of what they are doing, right? But for the most part, a lot of people don't understand energy. They don't understand energetic hygiene, auric fields, chakras, all of it, right? So make it big, all right? And the intention is that only love and light is allowed to enter your golden bubble of protection. Okay. Only the frequency and the vibration of unconditional love and higher can enter your auric field and your bubble. Sorry, your bubble, right? That is going around your auric field. We're not talking about the auric field so much today, or all of our bodies and all of that, but just think of yourself as just an energy bubble, and your bubble is going around you and it's very, very large. Anything else that's not of unconditional love is just deflected back out. It cannot even enter your auric field. It cannot enter your golden bubble of protection. Okay? That is technique number one. Play around with it, sit with it. And this technique alone and meditating on that bubble for even 2 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, you are now going out into the world with some protection when you had none, right? Or you're building on your force field. And I promise you, if you do this every single day, it's going to get stronger and it'll become a habit for you. Okay. All right, let's get into number two. All right, number two, the angelic blue flame sword of truth. Okay, I work with my angels a lot, guys, almost every day, probably every day, every day. I talk a lot about angels on this channel because they're just so magical and just so wonderful, and they always let me know that I'm there. So if you want a good relationship with your angels this year, maybe put that on your list of goals. But as you're doing your golden bubble of protection, you can literally So as you're doing your golden bubble of protection, you can literally visualize this huge angelic blue flame sword of truth, and it's just cutting through all of those energetic cords, those attachments, slicing right through your auric field, just going through your bodies, going through your bubble, going in between maybe even your chakras, just going through and cutting all of those energies that just don't serve you, right? And it's gentle, but it also knows exactly where to cut. It also knows that those cords belong somewhere else, right? And even more powerful, if you want to take this to the next level, is to imagine the hand that is holding the sword, right? An angelic hand, just really, really, really high above. And if it helps for you to visualize a different color than blue, feel free to play around with it and make it your own. For me, it's just always been a blue flame sort of truth, but it could be any color that you want to. But the idea is that there's this spiritual sword, there's this spiritual angelic sword just assisting you, helping you, and supporting you. Just get rid of these cords that you don't need to carry any longer. And last but not least, number three, and that is the universal violet flame. I work with the universal violet flame. And if I were to describe this violet flame, it's a universal spiritual fire that comes all the way up from the universal heart. And it has the ability to cleanse and clear your energy fields, and it transforms and transmutes all fear into unconditional love and higher. Okay. And the idea is when you're meditating upon the violet flame, and by the way, comment below if you've ever worked with the violet flame. I work with it on a daily basis in my energetic hygiene and in my meditations. And if you're interested, I will most likely be making a video doing a violet flame meditation for all of you. But I just allow this violet flame to come through my crown chakra, flooding all of my bodies and fields, releasing any fear, any doubt into the violet flame, and it just literally goes. It goes where it needs to go. The violet flame knows exactly where to extinguish the fear, right? Or the doubt, or the self-blame, or the worry, or the concern, right? Sometimes we feel like our own fears, are our own fears, but they're other people's fears. And you can also allow the violet flame to flood the cords and energetic connections of the other person that you are attached with, right? So if there is a genetic cord that you can't cut necessarily, or a sexual connection, you can literally visualize a cord between you and that person, and a violet flame just kind of flooding those cords, right? And very, very important that you are releasing the judgment at the same time, okay? These are the techniques. These are three techniques that I use. I have more techniques and more tools in my meditation, but hopefully one of these techniques will work for you, or all three will work for you. And if there is one that I did not mention today, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you all what your techniques are as empaths. How are you cleansing and clearing your auric field? How are you releasing energy that's not yours, so that we can all get up and do the work, the service work that we're all here to do. Please, as always, we are building a community of light, and like and subscribe. Share this with somebody who can find this concept useful. Share it with other empaths, and be well on your journey. I love you all. Thank you for joining me on the Uncaged Mindset Podcast.